Yo. How was Jesus amazing? What you mean, how? What's the word you tell me? What's good? How many people saw the show? The show ain't over, by the way. The show ain't over. How many people saw the show? We just did a show on June 20th, the solstice. How many people was on the live? And how many people was actually at the show in person? Y'all just did a show. You got to pay attention because it ain't over either. So when I be like, yo, get your tickets, I know y'all be like, oh, you just finna come on there and rap, da-da-da-da. Yeah, all right. And everybody who was there in person, they'll tell you, nah, they ain't, well, we did not expect what the fuck this nigga did. You say you didn't receive the link. I don't know how. I literally had it lined up for everybody to receive it. I don't know how you didn't receive the link. I wish I knew about the show. Pay attention. And it's not over either. The show ain't over. So, for those of y'all who was on the live, remember when I was doing the live stream, this is June 20th. Y'all remember we had the magician come on, the illusionist came, did the illusionist thing, and everybody was wrapped up in what the illusionist was doing. Earlier that day when I was talking to some of the brothers before the show started, I said, before Pops disappeared, he brought the illusionist to the land. Nigga was like, I said, I don't think y'all heard me. I said, before Pops disappeared, he brought the illusionist to the land. They were like, yo, I get what you're saying. The main niggas who was talking about they got what I was saying, them same main niggas who thought this shit was real when it went down. Listen to what I'm telling you. Right? So, yeah, it popped off. We did the show, started the show, and then everything you heard and saw around the illusion was scripted. Right? I'm not talking about the illusionist itself or himself. Everything you heard and saw around the illusionist was scripted, with the exception of the people who were in the audience. They didn't know what was going on. Even though I did everything in my power to tell them, I kept telling them the whole day. I was giving them hints. Hint after hint after hint after hint. It just shows you how this could happen. So pay attention. So I had one of the sisters come down and say, yo, Omar, there's people at the door for you, da-da-da-da. So I'm like, yo, I'm in the middle of a show. No, like you need to come on. Like it's some people that are. I said, okay, cool. But before that moment, I threw out little hints. I even said to the illusionist, I said, yo, I said, you can make me disappear? And everybody laughed. Nobody paying attention. Right? When he did a trick, everybody clapped. I said, I don't believe it. Nobody paying attention. Right? I'm sitting by one of the brothers. Is next to me in one, cause I'm in the game room. I can see the game system is on the TV, so that's my clock. Cause one of the other brothers is holding the camera so that y'all can see the live stream of the tricks that was going on. So I keep checking the camera. I look at the brother. He just looked at me. He ain't even paying attention to how I'm looking at him. Everybody was able to see all this stuff later on. But when it was going on, people weren't paying or actively paying attention, which is what I've been doing my best to teach people how to do, because it's so easy. It's easier than you think to make something look like something. It's so easy to press record and sell a vision. It's so easy to press record and tell a vision. Right? You got to notice when I be saying little stuff, you know, I drop a little comment in the shade room or spiritual where everybody be at, something happen, I'll be like, that's TV. You got to notice when I do certain things like, oh, that's TV. Yo, Faise, what you think about the Iran? Oh, that's TV. Prove it's not TV. Where did you see it at? You saw it where? On television. The new television is in your hand. The new television is right here. You're holding it. That's the new television. The new television is the algorithm that people are complaining about. The problem solver of Al Gore, of figuring out how we going to get all the people on the net. Remember they were trying to do that? How they going to get all the people caught up in the net? They had Net Day, trying to figure out how they going to get all the children hooked up to the net. You holding that algorithm right now. Al Gore's algorithm. Right before that big rollout, you understand, when you had the wars with Bush or Beelzebub, okay? And you looking at that algorithm popping up again, too, with what's happening now with Trump and them. People ask me, what you think about that? I said, it's TV. But all these other people running around talking about, we're going into World War III. We've been in World War III. Well, I don't know what people say it's about to be World War III. I think people think that war means automatically niggas start shooting and dropping bombs. That's not how this goes. Before you have people shooting, before you have troops being sent out, before you have people being drafted, before you have bombs being dropped, you got legislation, you have arguments, you have people pulling back and people dropping tariffs and people stopping exports and imports. You got stuff like that. You got the dollars crashing. You got leaders being killed. You got people being kidnapped. Every time y'all saw a president launch a bombing campaign, you should have been saying we were in World War III. But y'all think that means that everybody turn their nuclear weapons at each other and shoot it all at one time. That's not how this goes. That's not even how it's going to go. How do you know it's not how it's going to go? Because, first of all, they already have their leaders in position. Within 15 minutes, they should be able to get to their bunkers. That's a part of the evacuation plans. Evacuation procedures say that within 15 minutes, you should be able to get to your doomsday bunkers. All right? Bunkers that are deep enough in the ground, too, by the way, that can withstand the destruction that comes from thermonuclear weapons. So it ain't no, we can get a bunker by putting some semen in the ground and crawling into it. No, because what if you're right there at the detonation zone? You have to be deep enough underground that the detonation zone doesn't destroy you. So everybody talking about they got bunkers, ask them how many miles deep. You understand that? How many miles deep is your bunker? Oh, my bunker is a couple 100 feet. Yeah, you'll only be protected if you were a few 100 miles away from the detonation zone. And you're avoiding fallout. Anything in between there, now what are you dealing with? You're dealing with the blast radius and all of that. And your bunker ain't just going to absorb some shit just because it's underground. You understand? Especially if you're close to the detonation site. So the elites or the leaders, they're already in position. If they're not already in their bunkers, meaning they have homes, okay, a mile underground, if they're not already there, then they're 15 minutes away from it. That if that siren goes off, they already know, okay, start the evacuation procedure. Well, you haven't gotten to that point, okay? So there have been a lot of wars and rumors of wars, just like it was written. And everybody said, we're going into World War III. And then you notice people are screaming World War III, and they still focus on politics. People are screaming it's about to be World War III, and they still worried about whether or not they like Trump, or whether or not they would have liked Biden to be the one who announced that we was finna get bombed. That's basically what you're saying. Y'all have an issue with the CEO. I'm watching politicians, melanin-dominant politicians, post daily about another man, a Caucasian man at that, who's supposed to be a CEO of the U.S. Corporation, complaining about whether or not he's making the right moves. Okay, even though he got in office, right, quote, 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 he got in office after returning, and he inherited whatever the fuck happened when Joe Biden was in there. No, it don't work like that when you're dealing with these people. These people are going to say Trump didn't inherit no bullshit, okay? But when Barack Obama was coming in, they said he inherited Bush's bullshit. You see how they want to play politics and then in the same sentence talk about a World War III? No, if you're talking about there's going to be a potential World War III, politics should be the last thing coming out of your mouth. You need to be telling people where the safe zones are. That if you really feel strongly about that, why are you not telling people where they can go to so they can be safe? All right. What are the safest zones based off of geography? Meaning, if these people know they spending X amount of money on intercontinental ballistic missiles or nuclear weapons or bombers, If they spending X amount of money, you know they don't want to waste their money. So why would they sit there and just bomb rural areas on the outskirts of the states? They're going to hit all of the hot zones. One of the main hot zones being New York. Another main hot zone being Atlanta. They're going to hit the hot zones. So then by default, if they're fixating their attention on those hot zones where there are more populated areas than other zones, then there will be what? Safer zones. Some of the most safer zones will be the mountainous areas because people don't live up there on the summit. Sound familiar? Take you and your family, dip over here to the safe zone, and then go to the mountaintop lot and don't lag behind. We know who's going to lag behind, and if Sabria lags behind, guess what's going to happen? She's going to get caught up in the blast radius. And she'll be turned to a pillar of ash or salt. She'll be petrified by the blast. You see what I'm explaining to you? So, again, even with all of that, y'all looking at TV trying to assess a TV episode, and y'all get mad at people for not joining in on the conversation about what's happening with TV. What you want me to do? Make a million videos? First of all, they run tests. They'll run a test. They'll see who gonna sit there and speak out against this person, that person, that person. They put you on a list. They use your political views to group you. You're gonna be on a red list. You're gonna be on an orange list or a yellow list. You're gonna be on a blue list. You know what I'm saying? The red list people that they say, oh, we got to immediately detain them or get them out of the way because they'll have some influential power over people. And if we want to rebuild and move this happening, you know what I'm saying? The blue list is the people who now, like the podcasters, the people who got the big platforms who speaking out against the government directly. Okay? And the yellow list is they look at everybody else. That's the rest of the people. That's the people at the bottom of the pyramid where they know it ain't going to take nothing but to push a button and everybody going to move in the direction in which they want them to move anyway. So they put them on the yellow list. The yellow list is like saying the sheeple. The blue list is saying the sheeple who have graduated into having a voice. And the red people those are the ones who dare to be elite. You see what I'm saying? So they already got lists. Which list do you think any of these country community leaders, any people, you think they on? They're on the yellow list. They're on the yellow list. Because you think speaking out against the government is their problem. No, if you speak out against the government, then you're only showing that you're a potential threat. That's not a problem to them. What they really be watching for is who are the ones who not going to move with the trend. That's the ones that they watch for real. Other than that, they just mark the other people and say, okay, but they know for sure they're not going to waste their money on somebody talking about carbon is black people and they got Nora. They're not wasting their money on that. They're not wasting their efforts on that to go after a whole community of people that believe that and all that stuff. They're not going to do that. If anything, they already showed you what happened if they needed to do something like that. Right? Or if they had to protect certain interests, what they did with Heaven's Gates and Jim Jones and they killed all them people. They already showed that. But they're not going to do that with just no conscious community or no spirit community or religious community of people that get wrapped up in the same current events that all the other sheep will get. They put them on a yellow card with everybody else. You with me? So what do you want me to say about the Trump thing? What do you want me to say about Iran and Israel? What do you want me to say? This has been an ongoing war. This is a decades-long war. Y'all just woke up yesterday talking about some they've been bombing each other. They've been bombing children. They've been fighting. But what are they fighting for? Right? When they were talking about the WMDs, weapons of mass destruction, I was a little child when they were talking about that. One of the first things that Trump came in and said was what? This is back in like 2016. He said they were saying that there were weapons of mass destruction and there were none, and that they completely destabilized the Middle East. Go look that up and see why I'm not going to join the circus show. Trump came in speaking against the fact that they were saying that there were weapons of mass destruction. So you're not going to show me an episode of this man saying they can't have weapons of mass destruction. We got to stop them. That's the same fucking episode from Bush. You're not going to show me that episode and say, all right, Faise, your turn. It's the same thing. Y'all ain't been paying attention? And then what? What happens next? Because there got to be events. There got to be something major. And there has to be an increase of fear. All this has to exist in order for the book that they plan by to make sense to them, which will make sense to you. So then what happens? Is there a major event coming? Are there major events coming? Okay, because you got to think about it. Since 2001, ain't been no real huge event on the U.S. soil that wake people up and let people know what's really going on. Y'all watch these videos and see these people getting bombed and see the Iron Dome doing its best, to the best of its program, to detect and protect against it. Y'all watch videos of that. What happened when it is New York? I promise you, all that political talk gonna go out the fucking window. Niggas gonna be shook and scared. Like, how the hell could we let this happen? Yeah, how could we let this happen? Well, first of all, you underestimate war. You don't know how war works. Iran ain't just gonna be talking about we send in missiles. They know how to intercept intercontinental ballistic missiles. They know how to do that. The U.S. has technology that can shut them down. Well, technology way more advanced than just the Iron Dome. You want to know what you will have to worry about? You have to worry about, let's say, for example, you got some stuff flying around. You don't know what they're flying. You got vehicles flying around. And around the same time, some other vehicles flying around. They just say, oh, these are drones. So they remove the UAP word, so you don't think about that. They remove the UFO word, IFO. You don't think about that. They just say drones. Because drone could belong to anybody. But what are they trying to detect? Because if people have been moving pieces, listen to me closely and quickly. If people have been moving or smuggling pieces of weapons into the country for decades and forming them in secret operations for decades, the last place you need to be looking to figure out whether or not an attack coming is in the sky. Because that shit could detonate at any moment, and it's in the ground. You understand? Oh, you better rethink fault lines. You better rethink gas lines. You better rethink airports. You better rethink what's up under there. Well, who has access to what? You talking about people that are sitting there burning a flag on TV, listen, burning a flag, talking about death to America, and you think the ceasefire is going to be something that, oh, that's it, yeah, you right. You say, that sound about right. No, that ain't, you got to deal with Russia. You got to deal with all, everybody's looking at the eagle waiting on the wings to fall off. Everybody's waiting on the prophecy to be fulfilled. Okay, so then everything around that is TV. Wake me up when the light, when you see that second sun open up. Then call my name. Don't tell me that niggas gonna sit here and comment and give commentary on something that they claiming is inevitable and is gonna happen. Then you should be doing everything in your power to prepare to survive it. Other than that, you're TV. Don't tell me about that. Yeah, they're gonna drop bombs. Okay, when? Oh, they could hit our city. Okay, when? Other than that, well, I'm not a part of your fear-mongering campaign. If that's what you want, I'm not recruited for that. You see what I'm saying? So my point is, everything that you're looking at is TV. It's not hard to fool the masses. They fooled the masses into believing that there was something floating around out here about 5 years ago that everybody needed to protect themselves from, that at one point in time was lingering in the air for 72 hours. And then it remained on the surface for 72 hours. But then it stopped remaining. It stopped lingering. And then it just started jumping on everybody as long as you was within 6 feet of a person. So you had to put on a mask, right? But then it only did that if you weren't an essential worker. If you were an essential worker, it didn't jump on you. You see what I'm saying? It fucked with the people who was like the doctors and everything. It let them slide. But let your ass work at Waffle House. It's going to get on you if you get on the bus. So everybody still get on these buses. Everybody still get on these planes. Everybody still get on these trains. None of y'all looked at the highway. Some of y'all was really inside. I wasn't inside. I was outside. And I stood and I looked at the highway. And I watched thousands of cars drive past per hour. And you're going to tell me that there was a... You see what I'm saying? But they convinced people that there was one. So look at it. Now, 5 years later, people done forgot all about that. They forgot how stupid they was 5 years ago. They forgot how they acted when somebody sneezed 5 years ago. You gonna tell me that despite proteins, all these people just disappeared? Remember, the protein was jumping off of people, all that. Now they just disappeared. You gonna tell me that the whole ailment and everything disappeared? You gonna tell me it's not a problem anymore? Then they realized that ran out and they had no fuel for it. Because you gotta think about how much money went into that procedure. They don't have that type of budget for this. Now they say, okay, we're just gonna throw something else out there. What? Just say monkeypox. Okay, cool, monkeypox. And everybody got scared again for like 2 months. And then where did that go? No, for real. Where did monkeypox go? Went back to the jungle? Where did monkeypox go? Back to Africa? Where did monkeypox go? Did they get jobs? Did they evolve into human pox? You understand what's playing to you? And then nobody questions it. Remember all of the Omicron, Deltacron, Motron, Supercon, Leprechaun? Everybody was out here conning. And then none of y'all catch that shit? Where is it at now? Where are the doctors at that said that we was going to be sorry for not taking... Okay. Where y'all at? I want to talk to y'all. Where everybody that said that, oh, there was a such thing as asymptomatic, meaning if you don't feel any symptoms, all of that, you're supposed to still have... Where everybody went? But you believed it. Oh, because people die. People die around that time. You want to know what else? People died in the hospitals. So people normally get sick around the winter. People normally get sick around January, February when they was rolling it out. People normally catch pneumonia around that time. What's not normal is you hooking people up to a machine that nobody knows what the fuck it is. You're just saying it's a ventilator, and you stuffing them in the ICU and telling them their family can't come see them. It's cold in there. It's white in there. All of this is psychology. And then all of a sudden they passed away. But they came to you for help. How are people not going to the hospital and surviving and going to the hospital and dying? You stabbing them in their nostrils, breaking their brain barriers, causing more problems. You fucking the children up, doing the same thing to the children, setting up tents, literally setting up tents in the city for people to come through and get their nostrils stabbed. And say, oh, we're swabbing. If you're swabbing, here go my tongue. When the fuck you had to stab somebody in their brain? What were they really looking for? Well, some of y'all need to study the VMAT2 gene. Well, some of y'all need to study the God gene. Well, some of y'all need to understand that there's a reason why they do blood drives. You know what I mean? Some of y'all need to understand it. Or don't believe me. I love it when you don't, because that's what you don't need to believe me. But they be looking for certain people, certain genes, certain genetics. They don't care nothing about you claiming you chosen. That shit is in your genes. And it's going to be certain things you ain't going to go for. Because when you have that God gene active, according to what they say, that shit say you're more prone, or not even really prone. You're more apt to become, quote unquote, spiritual or in tune with the universe. Less easily beguiled. Sound familiar? Sound like the elect to me. The elect can't be fooled. You ain't fooling us. As soon as you start rolling out the program, we start scratching. I said, first of all, y'all got too many commercials for this shit. And I know how long it take to edit a commercial. Y'all just dropped this shit yesterday. Now Sprint got a commercial about it. Pizza Hut got a commercial about it. Y'all don't remember? Arby's said some shit about it. I said, what the fuck Arby's got to do with this? They still selling their food, all the while telling people to go and get this product. One of the hugest marketing employees I ever seen in my life. And everybody fell for it. You with me? So it's not hard to fool people. People are very easy to fool. It's harder to fool a dog than it is to fool a person. You with me? You walk in, the dog see you with a mask on, they go, They automatically, they feel like some shit, something wrong. They gonna investigate immediately. You gotta take that mask off quickly. Snoopy ain't going for that shit. You with me? You walk on with a mask on to somebody you've been married with them for 25 years, married to them. You walk in with that, they ain't gonna question it. It could be your brother. It could be a stranger. You walk in with a mask on, especially in that day and time, they ain't gonna question it. They ain't gonna sense something is off. People ain't hard to fool. The mind isn't hard to trick. That's why you have to train the mind. You have to go through not just psychological training. You have to go through psychic training. And it has to be a day-to-day thing. That way you pick up on cues that people, listen, you'll be so busy trying to trick me, you'll be missing where you standing. I will let you trick me into the pit that you're going to be standing over. I'll guide your trick. And then you'll put in the call. I got him. And I say, no, I got you. I press the button. You fail. Because we know the cues. We know when someone's playing a trick. So what make you think I'm going to sign up and say, oh, this says poly tricks? It's a lot of tricks in this field. Let me be a part of it. I would like to be tricked a lot of times. But when people watch a magic trick, what they say? Ooh, do another one. Which means what? Ooh, trick me again. I like being tricked. That was a good trick. They say tricks are for kids. No, tricks ain't just for kids. Tricks is for everybody. Everybody being tricked. You got trick daddy. You got trick mama. Trick son. Trick daughter. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole trick pedigree if you ain't careful. It's not hard to fool the mind. You want to know why it's not hard to fool the mind? Same reason why it's not hard to throw money on a stripper. Niggas say, huh? The stripper wants the money. What the fuck is you talking about? It's not hard to pay a stripper. Put it wherever. She'll get it. She'll get it. You could throw the money on the pole with some glue. She'll pick it off. You could put the money in a bucket and literally dash it over her. She'll pick it up. You can hand it to her. She'll take it. The stripper wants the money. It ain't hard to pay the stripper. The stripper wants the money. She'll find it. You left some money over here for me on the couch back here. So what? Why is it not hard to fool the mind? Because the mind wants to be fooled. The mind wants the tricks. You can tell the mind wants the tricks because they got y'all really, some of y'all idiots, they got some idiots really convinced that I'm the agent, that I'm the deceiver. Why? Because I'm not lining up with the fools. If I was lining up with the fools, it would be different. If I came out here talking bullshit and tricked your mind, then yeah, y'all would love it. A lot of y'all. Y'all would say, yeah, man, he right up. Y'all would put me up there with Bobby Hemmett. Y'all would never even check my credentials to see whether or not I even know what I'm talking about. I'm here talking chemistry. Did you check to even see that I studied chemistry? See if I am a chemist? You see what I'm saying? No, y'all want to be lied to. Y'all want me to come in and say, I'm one of the return Anunnaki guys. That we're Anunnaki guys. Y'all want me to come in and tell me, we got neuromelanin. Y'all want me to come in and talk about some our ancestors like we all related. Y'all want me to come in and talk about some we, as if some of y'all not devils. Y'all want us to come and show you more card tricks. Listen, the whole time the show was going on, when I disappeared, y'all didn't realize how long I had been gone. And ain't nobody say, hold on, stop the show. Hold on, stop the tricks. Where is Omari? Nobody said that. The whole time y'all was on the live, who did y'all hear say, enough? No, I don't know what's going on. And look, if it's a part of the show, my bad. I should have been put on point. But you gonna have to turn that, oh, no, listen, I'm not the one you want to play with. I'm gonna need you to turn that off. I don't know if y'all in on, I don't know if y'all doing some bullshit. But I need to find out where the lamb just went. He just disappeared. Where is he at? You see what I'm saying? Nobody said that. You want to know what everybody was doing? They were watching The Illusionist. And you want to know how I know they were watching The Illusionist? Because I was upstairs in the upper room on my computer watching the live with y'all. I'm watching every time a trick is done. Everybody clap. Yay! And then another trick. Yay! And then another trick. Yay! And I could literally, because I'm sitting next to the window, I could hear the resounding claps. Because the show was happening in the basement and the door's open. So I can hear every time they clapping. But I said, nobody ain't even saying, yo, wait a minute, Faise is gone. So all y'all know is she just came down and said, yo, it's some people at the door for you. You might want to come on and see what's going on. So I dipped and see what's going on. I grabbed my bag. Now some of the brothers, they walking around the perimeter. Some of the brothers walking around the perimeter. What else you see? Did everybody walk around the perimeter? No. Which means the brothers split up and they broke off from y'all. And y'all still sitting there watching magic tricks. You want to know why? Because you wanted to see the next trick. Every one of you wanted to see the next trick. You want to see what else he gonna do. You want to participate in the trick. You want to try to see, let me see if I can figure out what he's going to do. Let me see if I can answer the illusion. And you're not paying attention to the biggest event happening and you're a part of it. And you're going to tell me it's not hard to fool the mind? Everything you heard from that moment after that was scripted of people that were walking with me. Everything she said when y'all asked her, yo, where's Omari? And y'all walking around trying to find where I went. She said they took him. I text her that. You want to know what's so crazy? Then none of y'all say, yo, why you on your phone this whole time? Then none of y'all ask her, you keep looking at your phone. You want to know what I would have been doing? If she ain't going to give me, I'm finna snatch this motherfucker because I'm suspicious. And if I'm wrong, oops. If the phone breaks, it breaks. But something going on. I'm finna snatch the shit out this phone. I'm gonna ask her first. Excuse me. Can I see your phone real quick? I noticed you on it this whole time. You don't want to make a scene, don't make a scene. Let me see your phone. You see what I'm saying? If not, I'm snatching it. And then once I see, okay, then I got the opportunity of whether or not I want to say what's going on for real or not. But then none of y'all ask her why she was on the phone the whole time. Then I know you didn't ask her because she's on the phone. I'm texting her things to say. And what else happening? I'm on FaceTime with her. So I'm looking at y'all. You're not looking at me. I'm in the unseen realm. I hope you're paying attention because I told you to pay attention before I started talking, which means that a wise person is hearing what I'm saying and they're listening twice. I'm right there, which means that this person that you seeing and you ask the question about where I'm at, you ain't just asking her, you asking me too. So I'm answering you through her. You with me? Meaning she's my eyes, she's my ears, and she's my mouth. Everything she said was scripted. What happened to Amari? They took him. Who took him? I don't know. I think it's the FBI. I didn't tell her to say it's the FBI. I said, tell them when they ask that you think. Make sure you say you think. You don't know. Why? Because again, the mind wants to be fooled. The mind wants games played on it. It's the adept elite mind that ain't going for that shit. It's not comfortable to not know what the fuck is going on. But the adept elite mind accepts that he doesn't know what the fuck is going on and doesn't attempt to trick itself or himself or herself into thinking that they do. So the whole time I'm giving her stuff to say. Yo, tell them this, say that, say this. Y'all heard the wife cry. She starts crying, wailing. Why nobody didn't say, woman, why weepest thou? The wife was crying. Nobody thought to say, woman, why weepest thou? No, because y'all were crying. Some of y'all were crying. Y'all sat there and cried. Is it hard to trick the mind? Because you're dealing with a visionary. I'm a visionary. Make sure you're listening and paying attention to what I'm saying. I am a visionary. So I'm not just thinking, oh, I'm going to disappear. I'm thinking from your brains. Do you bear witness? I'm thinking of what you're going to think. I'm thinking you like obvious. I don't like obvious. I like reality. The only thing that's going to separate you from the sheep is you got to stop liking obvious. You got to stop liking things to be right there in front of you for you to see it so you can say that you believe it. And you have to understand that believing and knowing is two different things. Same thing I've been showing you. Right? Somebody said, yo, when they said they took you, I heard a helicopter. I was like, shit, the helicopter wasn't even a part of it. You added that to the illusion. Did you go outside and look? Did you see whether or not the helicopter? No, because the brain is like, that's all we need. That's all we need. And then you start filling in blanks that don't even exist. You say, not only is there a helicopter, there are army men out there because they got to come down on the rope. You start seeing the rope. They're going to hang them with the rope. You start adding stuff. Then they're going to resuscitate him and torture him in Times Square. What? You see what I'm saying? Right? So some people that were part of it didn't start off a part of it. One of the brothers was walking around up there, and I saw how he was looking out the door because I peeped out of the room that I was in. So he looking out the door while y'all down in the basement. I'm saying he keeping watch. He was staying up and keeping watch. So I knocked 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. And I stepped back in the room. He come up the stairs. I hear the stairs creaking. He said, yo. I knocked 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. He come up the stairs. He get by the door. I knocked 3 more times. Knock, knock, knock. He come in. I said, let me get your phone. I said, have you seen me? He said, no. I said, exactly. I said, here's what you're going to do. I said, you're going to go down there and you're going to say, so none of y'all seen Omari? I said, you got to be angry with it. I said, you're going to go down there and say, no, so nobody ain't heard from Omari? Nobody seen Omari? I said, And then you're going to storm back up the stairs and slam the door. All right? So you went back down there. This is how I know he did it. I was watching. I saw him do it. I saw when he came in. I saw y'all freeze. Like deer in headlight. I saw y'all freeze. He said, so none of y'all heard from Maury. Then he ran upstairs, slammed the door. And I heard sniffling again. I'm like, okay, who gonna activate themselves? Who gonna say enough? Nobody said enough when the magician was performing. You know what I'm saying? It's a point in time where you have to say, wait a minute. It's been going on for too long. So if you can be distracted by the illusionist, what make you think you can't be distracted by the illusionist? When Dr. Melchizedek York brought the illusionists to the land, okay, they were all paying attention to the illusionists, with the exception of my mother and my aunt. You want to know what my mother and my aunt were talking about? They were talking about that last class. They like, why are they paying attention to the illusionists when Pop just said that we got agents around us and we got this going on? Why the fuck they in there watching? Why they watching the magic shows? That was my mama then. Okay. Who among you was like, why are we entertaining an illusionist? You understand that? You with me? No, don't ask me why. Yo, you want to do a magic trick with me? Nigga, where the fuck is Omari? The fuck I need to do a magic trick with you for? Well, I just want you to participate. I want you to shut the fuck up talking to me before I have to show y'all another side of me. That's my family. That's how we respond to this type of stuff. What you gonna tell me the master just disappeared? And we gonna sit here? And y'all think I'm just saying it. I'm telling you to listen and you gonna hear me. I have to show you because I told you I can show you better than I can tell you. Because those who know don't tell. Those who tell don't know. There's a whole order set up about this. About this very thing. And it's the best kept secret. And the elders been laughing at me because I've been doing everything in my power to tell y'all. Because I know. But those who know don't tell. Why those who know don't tell? Because it don't matter if you tell people. They're not going to know. Some of y'all like, what the fuck is he talking about? Exactly. That's how they set this up. Help me. That's how they set this up. What did you need me to show you? What else? I done walked through all the orders. I seen the nigga drive by me. I saw him drive by me when I was 14 years old. My homie seen a nigga in the parking lot. After he was supposed to have been locked up. Say what? Never mind. Never mind. You gonna tell me the messages? Listen, they was standing, I would say there, because I don't know if I was there that day. I can't remember. Standing in Miss Solomon's yard, who was across the street from Tom Ray. Everybody gathered in Miss Solomon's yard. I think she had like 500 acres. And they were just standing out there. And somebody had the master teacher, and it was my Umi out there again saying, why the fuck are we just standing out here? We should be down there at the damn jail. Everybody just looking at her. Why are we all just standing out here like ducks? We weren't raised like ducks. We need to go down there and see what's going on. When they first put Dr. Melchizedek York, the story was up on the news and all that. They were raiding the land. They had the sisters, some of the sisters who was, I think some young girls, some of the daughters were on TV. There's a nigga named Bond. He owned a bookstore out there on Edgewood. And my Omi and them used to shop there, my Omi and my aunt. Listen, because if you're not listening, you ain't paying attention. If you ain't paying attention, you can't be actively paying attention. And that's what you're going to need to do for these next parts. Show ain't over. She grabbing her stuff and she look at the TV and she see Bond's daughters on TV. Talking about this doesn't happen, that doesn't happen. And Bond is sitting there eating the little, what you call it? I think she said the little baked peanuts, whatever the fuck he was eating. Beans. Just popping them in his mouth. Watching it like it's a fucking movie. And she like, yo, ain't them your daughters on the screen? Why you not down there at Tom Ray? Those are your daughters. They got your daughters. Nigga just sitting there looking. Didn't move a muscle. So my aunt was like, oh, hell no. They start putting all this stuff back. And they rushed down there. Some of y'all not listening. You gonna tell me somebody's daughters is on fucking TV saying this done happen, that done happen, and you gonna sit there in your bookstore and they being rated and you're not gonna move? And those are your daughters? And you're a Nuwapian? And you weren't disturbed or nothing. You just sitting there eating like you're at a movie theater. So, you mean to tell me Omari disappeared and y'all sat there and watched Magic? You just said, yeah, what's next? And then, when the show was cut short, because I told the sister when to do that, she came in and cut the show short. Did you pay attention to even what was happening with the trick? The numbers, 135, it didn't ring a bell? Did you read the Holy Tablets? You don't see Pops put 135 in the book? Level 1, Nesut. Level 3, Melakut. Level 5, Lehut. Niggas say, oh, 135 right there. Yeah, 135 right there. And it pops up again elsewhere. When they said they sentenced him to 135 years. What 1 plus 3 plus 5? 9. You'll find it in the Holy Tablets. Multiple times he break down 135. When you're a Mason, you become a 1-year-old EA. Yeah, you say you're 1-year-old. And then you got 3-year-old, then you got 5-year-old. 135. They say, oh, we sentenced him 135 years. And you see him coming out of the courtroom, handcuffs, supposed to be sentenced to 135 years. He's holding a scroll in his hand, and he's smiling. I know niggas get sentenced to 1 year. They not finna smirk. Malachi came out cheesing. And he had received 135 years. Some of y'all like, what? Man, never fucking mind. Because they got a movie called The Illusionist. And before Malachi disappeared, not only did he bring the illusionist, y'all stop me when it's time to stop, because I keep trying to tell them, even though I can't tell them. Because if I tell them, they ain't going to be able to tell. Not only did he bring the illusionist to the land, he also, in the last class, was speaking about the story of Jesus. And he told everybody, you better study this story, because if you don't, you're not going to know what happens when all this plays out. You ain't going to know what's going on. Or what plays out. What are you talking about, Pops? We're going to be here next week. Life goes on. We're going to keep doing this forever and ever. This is forever. Tom Ray is forever. What do you mean? When this happens, we're not going to know. Well, if you study Dr. Malachi York, he has plenty teachings where he talk about they thought Jesus was crucified. It was made to look like Jesus was crucified. You can make anything look like anything when you're a visionary, especially when you're Melchizedek, the main tester of the generations. Tell them how powerful I am. I am. I am. Damn. Nigga over my shoulder. When you're Melchizedek, some of y'all don't know that's his name. His name, that Z that you be looking at, Malachi Z York. His name is Malachi Zoduk York. Malachi, you cannot make this up if you try. His name is Asa. Guess what that translates to? Stop guessing. His mother's name is Mary. Guess whose mama name was? Stop guessing. They had a movie called End of Days. In the movie End of Days, which he told us to watch, there was a main character. And that main character's name was Kristen York. Christ in York. What is York? New York. He asked, he said, do you think it's a coincidence that I'm called Dr. York in New York? Niggas like, yeah. He said, do you think that's a coincidence that my name is Dr. York and I'm in New York? And I'm making New York new? New York? You think it's a coincidence that Ganawa is a very important name when it comes to the motherland? And he came down to Ga, which is G-A, Georgia, to establish Nawa, Nuwa, Nuwu, Wunuwu, Wunuwupu, Ganawa, and resurrected Tamare, Ma'are, Madre, the matriarch, the golden ages, in front of everybody in the middle of Puntnam County. He said Puntnam. Yeah, I said Puntnam because Punt is the land of gold in Egypt. Putnam County. You think it's a coincidence? You think it to be a coinky dink that the sheriff name is Sharif Seals, as in S-E-A-L-S. Spell sheriff. S-H-E-R-I-F-F. How many letters? 7. 7 what? Seals. 7 seals. Sheriff Seals. What was he holding in his hand when he was walking out of that facility? A scroll. Didn't he always hold the scroll? Yeah, he did. And what was on the scroll? 7 eyes. Which were what? 7 seals. And what did he say he came to do? To break the 7th seal. 7th seal was broken. Wait a minute. I thought I read somewhere where they said that there was no one who could break the seal, and everybody would weep and say, don't weep, because here we come. And da-da-da, stepped up, broke the seal. No one could bring forth Nuwapu. Stop telling me about Noble Drew Ali. He didn't bring Nuwapu. We don't disrespect Noble Drew Ali. We don't credit him for things he didn't do either. He didn't resurrect the language. You didn't surpass Islam with Noble Drew Ali. Say you did, and I'll pull up your doctrine. Don't bring up Yahweh ben Yahweh. Don't bring up Captain Cesariak and them. Don't bring up the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Just bring up him and let him stand alone and then tell me what he brought. And you're going to have to say, he brought everything. Guess what that is? Go watch the movie, The Youth Fountain, or The Fountain of Youth, whatever the fuck they called it. The Youth Fountain, I think is what they called it. Go watch that movie. It just came out. When he got to the waters, he said that those waters is everything. That's what new is in you. New. So if you're going to tell me he came to give something, you're going to say he gave everything. He taught all the schools, all the lessons, all the degrees. He solved the problem book for you. 5%ers. Y'all going to act like it didn't happen, though. He put the supreme in supreme mathematics and taught people how to be supreme beings. Don't just talk about it. Be it. Don't ask me what's today's mathematics. Ask me what's the mathematics. Don't put a time period on it. You ain't going to tell me that you're talking about supreme mathematics and you're not a mathematician. And you're going to ignore what mathematics are? He didn't ignore it. He brought it. Ancient Egyptian order. He brought it. Nuwapu. He brought it. We have it. And now y'all are dealing with phase 1. And all of y'all want to keep running from me. And y'all going to try to convince these people that the reason why you're running from me is because I'm an agent. When y'all people that follow these niggas going to ask, well, if he's an agent, why won't you just handle him? If he an agent, he shouldn't. What is he either conscious or he not conscious? He either chosen or he not chosen. If he not chosen and y'all chosen, deal with him how the chosen would deal with somebody who not chosen. If he not true blue and y'all true blue, deal with him how somebody who true blue would deal with niggas who not true blue. If I'm just a fucking agent, 19 keys, Jabril, you know you're a Dajjal. You know that. They don't know. You know the lust of your heart is rooted in muladara, money. You know that. You got little crookbacks, and I wouldn't know if y'all don't send it to me. Crookbacks like LifeWave. Talking about some, yo, stop with that Faise One stuff. I'll show you DMs where he didn't want to stop with the Faise One stuff. I'll show you DMs where this nigga was coming to me and said, yo, I got a $30,000 plan, a $100,000 plan. We can make some money together. We can open up a business together. I'll show you where the nigga, before he even opened up the store, was like, yo, man, I want to work with you. I want to work with you so we can get some money. You know what I mean? Sell these products. I got the formula. You got the platform. Let's join together. How many followers you got now? Why? Because the lust of his heart is rooted in muladara. Mula, money. You're rooted in money. Talking about some Malachi York wasn't with that. You don't know Malachi. We never back down from war. We never back down from the truth. Y'all didn't hear these people screaming Malachi's name. Y'all heard these people screaming when the next time they was throwing the event that you could get their herbs. As I speak of craft flies over me, I wish I could show it to y'all, but I know that's too far up for you to see. But I'll never tell you no lie. And this ain't the first one. How many people now that we got it? Let's do it. Let's seal that deal. When I asked LifeWave on that live, I said, who showed y'all the crafts when y'all niggas was talking about we want to go out there and see extraterrestrials when y'all playing with walkie-talkies and shit? Who stepped away from y'all on that porch when y'all running y'all mouth and talking and lollygagging? And I stepped away. I said, they want to see y'all. I'm out here. Show me and I'll show them. And I asked this nigga on live in front of everybody, who shows you the crafts since I moved too fast or moved too slow? Because at the time I was eating meat. Here go another one right here. And that one moving slower. I said, who showed y'all the crafts? He said, not you. He lied. And I didn't have anybody from SG Hazel to the girl Nikki to Beyond 5D. I couldn't call on anybody to be like, yo, tell these people who showed actual crafts when everybody was talking about, oh, we gonna get in touch with the extraterrestrials. So I want to ask for the people who were there at the show. How many of y'all, and you ain't gonna be, you know me, you know I'm not gonna let you say you were there and you weren't there. And then I'm gonna look at you different if you think that that's what you need to do. How many people were there at the show after I showed up when all of it came to pass and we went on the porch? How many people were there? If you were there, speak up. I'm going to show y'all something. I'm talking about something that's way, way, way more advanced than masonry. You're in the right place. You just need to pay attention. How many people were there? Ain't nobody here? All right, we got one of the sisters who was here. One of the sisters was there. We got another brother. Yeah, that brother was there. Right? Stiz, who this is? Honesty? Because if not, you know I'm finna roast your ass. I think Stiz might be Honesty. If that's Honesty, then yes, she were there. We got 3 people who were there. All right. As fast as you can, I want y'all to tell the people what y'all saw. This ain't coordinated. This wasn't planned. The live wasn't planned. I haven't spoken to them since they went, other than to tell them, everybody be safe. Right? Let everybody know what y'all saw on the back porch when I spoke to y'all about everything that came to pass, why it came to pass, and what was to come. What did y'all see? Let them know. Many crafts, and they were blinking. Now, you have to explain when you say blinking. I'll do it for you. And I want y'all to start thinking more like visionaries. Right? You got to know that when you say many crafts and they were blinking, the first thing that pop up in people's head is a plane. You have to understand people's brain. No, not they were blinking. There were crafts that came through glowing, and they would let off a flash. They let off a single flash. And I told y'all, don't forget the what? Don't forget the flash. Okay? Because if you forget the flash, then all you're going to see is these lights that blend in with stars in your mind's eye. You remember the flash because that's their message to you, that they see you and they know who you're standing next to. And you need to stop thinking beings and start thinking people. You don't think they knew what was going on? Before I came to y'all, I said, because I literally was standing outside, I guess I have to finish the rest of it, so we'll come back to it. So I just want to put that because I was about to go into some more details with people that I have to fill in the blanks on that. But for the people that are in here, y'all can see what they're saying, right? We saw the crafts. Yep. Tafari was there. I'm talking about in person, by the way, y'all. When I say that they were there, they were right there. I don't go out talking about I'm about to do a show and put my address and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? For obvious reasons. You understand that? But no, I literally, for the people who was able to come, they came and they saw it. And I also said, only those who supposed to be there will even be able to make it. If you ain't supposed to be there for that one, it's the same way when I did the first one. I said, only those who supposed to be there. Some of y'all got to stop thinking that means that if you didn't make it there, that you ain't worthy. No, it ain't your time. Sometimes they rotate people to get a different experience, but you got to see it for yourself. So if you came to the first one, you might not have come to the second one. You still came to the first one and saw what you were supposed to see. Now, what are you going to do with that? Now, those who came recently, they have another thing they just got exposed to. What are they going to do with that? So let's finish it. So she came in, she cut the live off. She had to cut the live off. I know some of y'all like, what happened to the show? That was a part of it. She had to cut the live off because if I kept live streaming, more people, it would have been too easy for people. They would have been like, oh, this is a part of the show. I know you're thinking like it should have been obvious. No, it's only feeling like that after the fact. It wasn't obvious to them because they weren't actively paying attention. They would have caught everything I said from, well, can you make me disappear, goddammit? Everybody laughs. But somebody should have said, is that what you finna do? You finna disappear? Because you've been saying all day that Malachi brought the illusions to the land after he disappeared. I hope you're listening still. So we cut the live. People were able to see that. So that, oh, this is real. People in the comments, I saw y'all. Because I was watching the live when it cut. I saw y'all sending stuff, green light, divine. I saw y'all. Y'all doing what y'all could. Some of y'all messaged me and said, yo, everything good? You with me? Even the one who was doing the videography didn't know what was going on. I had to let him know later on. I said, yo, that was a part of it. You see? So everybody was able to see how people were moving. You saw some people were able to feel it. Some people cried. You know what I mean? Some people were trying to keep everybody strong. You got the brothers on the move trying to figure out what's happening. All right? You need to remember this. You need to remember this. Malachi explained to them. You better know how the story goes. Because there is a part in the Illusionist movie where it is all explained, but only because of that one person that did their due diligence to go and find more clues to see who was made or what was made to disappear. The main character in the Illusionist. Hope you're listening. But everything else around it makes sense though. Right? So remember, I had been gone for a while. I had been missing for like 2-3 hours. Nobody left the house. Everybody stayed in the house. I had been missing for hours. Do you know that after the first 15 minutes, if they done snatched my ass up and y'all sitting there watching magic tricks, I'm gone. What are you going to be able to do? They done snatched me up and y'all sitting here clapping while somebody is flipping cards and pulling cards out of lemons. And you're like, wow. You know what I mean? Soon as a nigga would have said, I'm working on it, I would have been, you working on what? You're like, what? Hold on, what was that? Was that slick? Was that what you? He said, could you make him disappear? And you was like, I'm working on it. Y'all don't know. This is really how we are. You're learning it. You're learning it. You can't let shit get past you. No matter what's going on, you suspect everything. Don't believe anybody. Remember, I kept yelling it when he was doing the tricks. I said, I don't believe it. Y'all laughed. Some of y'all should have said, Yeah, nobody say, I don't believe it. But y'all believed it. So, what is Omari saying? Not what is Omari saying. What is Malachi saying? Think, Jimmy Neutron. For those who were there in person after I showed y'all the crafts, I called one of the sisters, yes? And I said, I want you to talk to these. I got my peoples here. I want you to talk to them. This sister's part of the ancient Egyptian order. She walked with Malachi in the flesh, in the personage. Learned from him. Picked up gems. I said, I want you to tell me tell them what you told me about what Malachi said to you before that day came where they locked him up. Pay attention, wise men, wise women. You'll hear one word, you'll overstand two. Before he disappeared, what did Malachi come to? She said, oh, you want me to, she'll read it. Because that's the playbook. And you better remember who got the pen. Sacred Wisdom of Tahuti. So he say, you can't go where I'm going. Somebody said that in one of these stories. They thought he was finna commit suicide. The Jesus man in the story said, you can't, where I go, you can't go with me. They said he can't be talking about heaven because we can all get to heaven. Is he finna kill himself? Da-da-da-da. What does he mean? You tell me what he means. Where I'm going, you can't go. I got to get away from these humans. I told y'all, didn't I? That when Jesus figured out these people really like that, they really fucked up, he dipped and popped up later on certain people. Certain people saw him. Right? I done heard plenty of people say, I saw Malachi. My brother and I, we walking into one of these old country spots, literally some country lemonade restaurant. I can't remember what they call this shit. My brother driving, I'm in the back seat, my mama in the passenger seat. We get out. An elder man in a red, green, and blue, yellow dashiki walks past him and says, Robot. And my brother freezes now. Not like, yo, he freezes. And he's frowning. And he looks at me like, I'm like, what? He's like, yo, he said, that was the master teacher. He said, that was the master teacher. And then he looked, and we both rush into the restaurant. And the man is there. And I say, yo, Raul back. He looked like the master teacher. I say, Raul back. He got the salt, pepper, beard, shades on. I say, Raul back. The man looked at me confused. He said, huh? Because my brother was like, yo, he just said Raul back. I said, yo, Raul back. He's still confused. I said, salam alaikum. And the brother said, well, alaikum salam. And he went back to get his lemonade. What? Exactly. Don't worry about it. Just keep paying attention. Keep paying attention. So the sister is on the phone. We're on the back porch. June 20th, a few days ago. I'm letting the sister tell what he said to her. He said, I got to get away. I got to go. I've had it with these people. I'm tired. I'm leaving. And now you need to figure out how you're going to navigate without me. She said, then after that, he got kidnapped. So let me ask y'all a question. A man says, I'm tired of these people. I'm about to go. I got to get away from them. A man says, I've had it. I've had it with this whole thing. A man says, these people are, okay, he's talking about the people, how he got to get away. He's tired. He's about to go. You're going to have to figure this out. He never says, yo, I got a case against me. Some of y'all not listening. He never says, yo, I have a case against me. He never says, yo, they about to lock me up. He never says, yo, I'm finna get locked up for a while. I need you to get in touch with my lawyers. He never says, this is about to happen. Hurry up, da-da-da-da. He don't say any of that. He says he got to get the fuck on. And then you see this play out. And then you see this play out. And then you see this play out. And say, he got kidnapped. Then he disappears. People don't know what's been going on since May 8, 2002. There have been so many different versions of who's supposed to be Malachi since 2002. Now, my aunt say, she said this to my Omi, I was like 4 or 5 years old. She get a call from Malachi. Malachi say, they're going to make it look like I'm in jail, but I'm not. Stay by the phone. And what checks out is for a while, Dr. Malachi York was calling my aunt on the phone from jail. Now, he was also sending my aunt mail through the mailman. And she says she still got these. And if I can get in touch with her, we'll figure out how to get, if she let me. She don't be with the shit. She don't care if people know or not what's going on. He was sending her mail with clippings from newspapers that hadn't gone out yet about his case. He's in jail, sending her mail about his case that hasn't come out yet. He was sending her newspaper clippings that hadn't even dropped dates before they came out, and he's in jail. It should be the other way around, shouldn't it? He should be getting that shit later to send to her. But why would he need to send her clippings of the mail or newspaper when she can just get the newspaper her damn self if it already done came out? He was sending it to her before they posted it. He told her what was going to be said in the trial, before the trial. To the point where when there was a testimony night, everybody was supposed to be talking about what they learned from Malachi. Everybody was supposed to be talking about what they learned from Malachi. What they witnessed. What's their testimony? Sound familiar? Didn't that happen at the show? Some of y'all still not hearing me. Some of y'all are. And he said, remind them how powerful I am. And again, my aunt said she was going through her depression at that time. So she just going on and talking about how he's so powerful and how he's psychic because he knew what was going to be said in the trial before they said it, even down to Adrian Patrick saying you just made yourself a witness to the judge and da-da-da-da. As I say that, one of the crowds just shot by. These skies is active. Oh, that wasn't no crash. I'm tripping. That's a light bulb. I just seen it. Right? He said, you just made yourself a witness, da-da-da-da. So she's telling the Nuwapian family this on Tom Ray. The people that were involved didn't think that Dr. Malachi York was no psychic. They said to her, they called her phone and said, yo, ask him, has he seen the tape? She said, what the fuck you mean? Ask him, has he seen the tape? Why don't y'all call him and ask him, has he seen the tape? Whatever the fuck tape y'all talking about. What tape were they talking about? According to my aunt, the tape they were talking about was the tape that they played in court in Brunswick on Martin Luther King's birthday, where people were sitting watching a screen. They were not in the courtroom. They were watching a screen of the trial. Can't somebody just press play? Can't somebody just press play? Can't somebody just press play? So you watching the tape and the nigga tell you this was going to be said. You don't think you watching the tape. You think you watching the trial. But the people who you talking about the testimony to, they come and say, yo, ask him, has he seen the tape? Because they know it's a tape. in the basement of the court on Martin Luther King's birthday. And the sister said Pops had her studying the Johnny Cochran, O.J. Simpson shit. Studying the case. Studying was moving. Study was going on. Some of y'all may not be hearing it, right? I'm Omari, Faise One, and I've had it with people. I've had it with people. I could break down and cry right now. You don't know me. I've had it with this facade. This world is fake. The smiles are fake. The hugs are fake. The shoes, the cars, the clothes, the weather forecast, the animals. It's fake. It's fake. And they'll look you in your eye, Omi. These people will look you in the eye with all that fakeness and say, accept that I'm real. And you got to get into your core character. You got to get into character just to deal with people on a day-to-day basis because they don't know we're telepaths. And it's so loud because we hear everything you're thinking. And you think I'm talking about you need to be in front of us. No. Some of y'all bear witness, some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. This is only for the elect right now. Some of y'all been around me. They say, yo, man, how the fuck you just say that? I was just thinking that. And I laughed. Some of y'all be around me. And I'll say, yeah, that's fine. And you'll be like, you heard me? And I'll laugh. Some of y'all, I'll do it more for certain people. Some, I play around, just play along with you. Wise man can play dumb. They said, say it 3 more times, so I will. A wise man can play dumb. A wise man can play dumb. A wise man can play dumb. Allah leads astray who he wills. Only those who gonna be an issue get led astray. Yeah, we're gonna be at the park at 6 p.m. All right, y'all ready? We're not gonna be at that fucking park. That's the feds. We finna be over here at 9. And when you get there, act like you don't know me. Say what? Yeah. Yo, Omari, what you think about this? I don't know anything about that. You tell me. Oh, this nigga don't know nothing. I know more about this than him. I'm gonna watch how you move when you think you possess more information about a thing than I do. That's how I'm gonna know whether or not you're gonna conceal or reveal. Whether or not you're one of mine or you're not. Are you in your Hierophant mode? Or are you in your Kafir mode? Hierophant says, I'm gonna give and show the sacreds because you need this and it's a part of the ascension process. The Kafir says, no, I'm just gonna act like I'm rolling with this. I'm not really rolling with this. I'm trying to get ahead. I'm in your brain. Especially when you're in my proximity. Some of y'all feel it. Because I can see it on you. I didn't ask for this. This is just who and what I am. I told you, I said, look, I'm going to show you something. I'm not going to show you a magic trick. I'm going to show you a miracle. Watch for if I ever say, and for my last miracle. I'm going to show you a miracle. Right? I say, watch. I pop out with the Masonic hat. Everybody's going to be asking me Mason questions. And then I'm going to pop out with a Rosicrucian hat and I'm going to tell you, watch, and see whether or not they ask me about it. How many people watch these people not ask me shit about the Rosicrucian hat? How many people watch these people act like that hat never appeared on my head? But when they saw the Masonic symbol that I showed them, they were all woke and said, see, he's a Mason. That means he's an agent. They just revealed themselves. Especially when the Rosicrucian symbol came out and they had nothing to say. Nobody asked, oh, you're a Rosicrucian? Nobody said, you must be an agent. That's a Rosicrucian symbol. Why though, Omari? What's the point here? The point here is it's mainstream to expose somebody for being a Mason. You didn't expose me for being a Mason. I put on a Mason hat. And you said, look, the obvious. I told you better get your ass up out there. Obvious. Look, the obvious. And y'all look and say, what? It's a Mason hat. Okay. Anybody gonna tell him? He put the hat on for you to see. You know he edited that video you looking at? You know he wearing the hat? Now watch for my next miracle. Rosicrucian hat. Nobody says anything. But they were just so woke a few posts ago. No, you're stuck in 2008, where there was YouTube videos coming out against Masonry to stop y'all from looking into them orders. There were YouTube videos coming out against the Illuminati to stop people from wanting to see what the ancient Egyptian order was talking about. And only the fools could have been kept away from it. So it worked out in our favor. If you gonna let a nigga say, yeah, the Masons worship the devil, and you ain't gonna go and see whether or not they do, you're not one of the elect anyway. The Masonry is no place for you. The ancient Egyptian order is no place for you. The ancient mystic order of Melchizedek is no place for you. The Rosicrucian order is no place for you. You're supposed to look at everything and see everything for what it is. You got to learn how to look at things and read them. If you don't, you won't see. But when you do, now you see me. Hey, type your friend. Now you see me too. I stood there and said, yo, you know. I said it just like that. I said, you know, Pops brought the illusionist to the land before he disappeared. Niggas just looked at me like, tell us more. I just told you more. And then I disappeared. I ran into another one of the brothers when I was in the shadows, literally, moving around. I'm looking at people. They don't see me because I'm out there literally in the backyard in the shadows moving around, just walking. I'm walking right past. I walk right past an open door. If I'm lying, I'm flying. I walk right past an open door where people were sitting right there. I saw people look right at me and not see me. And I looked right at them, and I didn't run. I sauntered across the door. Nobody said, yo, there you go. I guess they just took me to be one of the brothers. Listen, Linda. Ran into one of the other brothers. I flashed them down. I had my phone. I flashed them down. Waved the phone in the dark. And the brother was on point. They you know what I'm saying? They on point. So I had to show him before I popped up. So, I really disappeared. That wasn't a part of the show. So I flashed the light. He walked out. He walked up to me. I said, have you seen me? He said, no. Meaning no. I said, have you seen me? No. I said, okay, cool. Going back to post. And I walked off back into the shadows. I'm not lying. And you got to know, my vision is stellar. So I don't need to be up on the window to see you. Yep. If you had your eyes on my wife, I saw you. I ain't gonna say nothing to you. You just won't be coming back to the land. If you had your eyes on the mission, I saw you. I ain't gonna say nothing to you. I'll just see you next time when we gather again. Now niggas like, yeah, oh, he saw, yeah, I saw you. I was watching you, so stupid. But you forget what I taught you? That people are more of themselves in any situation when they feel they're not being observed. Huh? Yeah. I see everything. And I saw everything. I said, look at this nigga. This nigga's stupid. You think I don't see? And then you're going to ask me a question, not knowing I'm paying attention. And in the middle of you asking the question, you going to try to jest with my wife? And you think I don't see you? And I make sure everybody knows I see you by seeing you through what I say. I say, yeah, didn't you just ask me this question while you watching my wife? But in your mind, you were keeping me busy with a question? Yeah. No. There will be no extended stay. I didn't plan for that. You leave with the rest of the crowd. And you should have definitely been on point because I told you from the jump what was moving. We don't leave room for error. We're always watching every little thing. If you were chewing food and you dropped that shit down on your plate and thought nobody saw it, I saw it. If you realize that somebody's cup was running low on liquid and you said, I need to fill this cup back up, and you went to go get them some more liquid, I saw you. I said, that's a good brother right there. Some of y'all thinking it over again. Don't be paranoid. I've been told you. Because I don't have to be there to see you. I don't have to be there to hear you. Some of y'all like, yo, why wasn't I invited to this? Because I hear what you say when you think we don't have ears. You will be on a live watching me where people come on. Am I talking to myself right now? Y'all will be on a live watching me. People come on and say, yo, read my life. The window opens. Sometimes I have to literally stop reading because I be reading it too accurately. And I have to remember that I'm still on the net. This ain't for the many. Some of this stuff. We'll let a nigga say, I'm a seer. I'm a this, I'm a that. We'll let you say it. And we'll act like you're teaching us something. And then we'll walk off and say, he didn't see us though. He didn't see us? Don't worry. All right, get back in character. Here they come. You see? Do you see me yet? Because now you see me. Now you see me too. I saw everything. I heard everything. No, you weren't left out. Some of y'all need to go back and listen to Dr. Malachi York, 1992, where my brother said, they keep asking, why are you overlooking me? He said, I'm not overlooking you. I'm looking right at you. He said, you're not fooling the eye. Then he said, the eye is I. They put the eye in a Now You See Me movie. We them ones. We been around. You ain't see us? They said, did he quote his lyrics? Did I? We the ones been in action. We been here. You ain't see us? No, you ain't see us. Because we move in the unseen. Yes or no? Before I even rolled out to tell everybody, here come the next reveal. Didn't I do a live and say, you better learn about the unseen? Better learn. And you need to learn quick. Some of y'all need to remember, they were saying this to Pops. He don't see me. He don't care. I heard you. He doesn't care about me. Every time, listen, what's so interesting is it don't take telepathic powers to have people that's going to let me know what you're saying. That's just regular loyalty. You got to be crazy to not realize you speaking about me and you didn't see this nigga whip out a phone and place it near you. You didn't realize his phone just automatically got in closer proximity to you when you started talking shit. He ain't never had the phone near you the whole time. But the moment you started talking shit, you didn't hear that broop. You didn't hear the broop. You didn't even hear him press the button and slide it and say, yeah, what you said about him? And you just cleared your throat. I said. You didn't hear? It don't take psychic powers to have loyal people that's going to let you know what's going on and what's being said. And then what's so interesting is you will say what you say and then come to me as if you didn't say it. And now, not only am I seeing more of what they're saying and what they show me, I'm seeing more of what you're showing through that. You know what I mean? I told y'all how this is going to go. I told y'all, watch. I said, people were making plans to move in together, all kind of stuff. I said, y'all better wait till the solstice. They said, man, that's a long time. I said, it'll be here before you know it. Because it literally snuck up on people. Some of y'all still think it's June 5th. You ain't gonna tell nobody. You just checked just now. I said, damn, it's not June 5th. It's not June 5th. You don't know what day we're going into? Who gonna tell them? You right around the corner from June 26th. Same alignment it's always been. I said, y'all wait till the solstice before y'all start making moves. Why we gotta wait till the solstice? What you mean, why? Okay, I'll give you the answer. Because anything can happen. Anything can happen between now and the solstice. And it did. People started showing their colors, revealing their own insecurities, projecting it on one another. I watched, and y'all came to me as if I was supposed to be in your shoes. People were coming to me, telling me what they did, and being upset with me because I'm not getting them. Do you know how much is on our plate? I told you, don't keep your eyes off the prize. I don't care what it looked like. Hold on to that rope, look straight ahead. You did some dirt, you did some dirt. I respect you more for realizing you did the dirt, wipe it up, and keep walking, than to stand there next to the dirt pile asking me why I won't come and look. I already saw, that's why. I already saw. Everybody been tested. If you think you ain't been tested, you just don't know how tested you've been. Everybody been tested. Somebody got tested, and they still able to be in proximity because they passed. They passed. And I sat there and told them, I said, you're being tested. They passed the test. So if you're not in proximity, it's because I sat there and told you, yo, just remember you're being tested. And you still failed. When you watch what you say out your mouth. Because what does it say about you? Watch what you say out your mouth about emotion that you're fighting to be a part of. Then why slander? You want to be a part of the motion and you're slandering? You want to be up close and personable with me and you're slandering? That's why I told y'all, no, that purple light was a different light. It ran right past you, didn't it? Everybody came and did the, what do you call it? The show. We did the song, the sister, we did the song. We did the video. Everybody wore their purple, wore their white. We did it. Purple light ran past you and didn't ask you if you were ready. What was the purple light about? What was the crown about? I say boss moves only. You did that, you did that. Let's keep moving. We don't got time for all this other stuff. Y'all wanted me to put the crown down, and then you're going to get upset with me when I don't, and then you're going to go slander. You see? No, the crown was about, ain't nobody, I said, I'm nobody's babysitter. We don't have time for that. We got stuff working right now. Y'all ain't seen me come out here and talk to the people about it. I talk to y'all about it. Y'all ain't seen me go to the Nubians and talk about it. And some stuff I won't even say amongst y'all, right? Because we got moles around us. We got people that run in their mouth. We got people that open up the doors of the lighthouse and let people see in it. Don't be paranoid. Don't be paranoid. Just pay attention. You got to watch. Be more watchful. How watchful? Even more. After you even more it, go more it some more even. So some stuff I ain't gonna be able to say. Because you have to think of, all right, let's finish this piece. Because you ain't gonna get it if I don't say this piece. Show played out. I talked to one of the brothers. We got on the porch. I said, yo, tell everybody to go up to the upper room. Everybody came to the upper room. They in the living room. I'm on the porch. I tell one of the brothers, I say, stand in front of the light switch so don't nobody try to turn the light switch on so they can't see me. Now I'm standing on the porch. We done moved the whole game. I'm just standing there looking at everybody. Just looking. Some of y'all who think that's weird, get rid of your phone. Some of y'all who think that's weird, don't go outside. Some of y'all who think that's weird, get rid of your TV. Some of y'all who think that's weird, don't get in your car. Some of y'all who think it's weird, get rid of your Wi-Fi. Some of y'all who think it's weird, just bury yourself under a rock. Because even when you do that, you're still being watched. It's just, it'll be a little more comfortable. You close your eyes, act like you don't see it. If you think it's weird that I'm standing there watching this whole thing play about, then you don't know Malachi. Say it again. If you think it's if you think it's weird, but I sat there and watched y'all do everything y'all did. I was on FaceTime. I was looking through windows. I saw you. You won't be able to say, no, I didn't. Because you would be trying to lie to me about what the fuck I saw and what the fuck I heard. And you can't lie to me about what the fuck I saw and what the fuck I heard. If you think you got over, I let you get over because it ain't time. But I can see a pupil dilate from a mile away. I peep so much game, it don't even make sense. Sometimes I be like, this is not fair. Because I have to activate that much cluelessness in appearance just to get by daily. I gotta act that clueless. I see every cue, social cues, everything. Wise man can play dumb. Dumb man can't play wise. If you think that me watching and paying attention to that whole thing is weird, ooh, you don't know Malachi. You don't know the elders. You don't know the Etherians. You don't know where you are. There is nothing that you do that isn't recorded, that isn't seen. Step back over here. You don't know that part yet. Don't go try to look in the spiritual realm. Just deal with what you call the physical realm. Your government or the government or the governments. Look at their satellites. Look at how they can detect thermal readings from Wi-Fi. Look at their ultrasounds and sonographs. Look at their DEWs and how they know how to play with waves and particles. And look at their grids. Look at their electric cars. Look at the helicopters flying over you, recording and getting facial recognition when you look up. Look at everything. Look at the light pole. Look at the camera on it. You think it's just there? They're going to have a camera, ain't nobody manning it. Look at your phone. You see that screen that you're looking at? That's a spy mirror. Someone else said scry? Yeah, call it scry. I'll call it what it is. That is your spying mirror. You are holding a spy door, a spy door that is connected to the spider's World Wide Web. You're always being watched. And not just by government officials. I'm not overlooking you. I'm looking right at you. We have people asking, what am I supposed to change? Tell me what I need to change. I literally told them, and I love them to life. I literally told them, I'm not going to tell you that. Because you're looking for an excuse. If I sit here and tell you, oh yeah, change this, change that, now you can say that I engaged in your games. I never engaged in your games. Because people, what, class? They know what they do. People know what they do. Somebody walk up, slap the shit out of somebody. Person start crying. Why are you crying? No, like, I want you to tell me why. No, like, if you care, you'll tell me why you're crying. I'm the one that's going to walk up to you. They don't got to tell you anything. You know what you do. You just slap them. And then you may get mad at me because I didn't let you live an illusion in front of me. Then on the other side, somebody say, they'll try to do it another way. So yeah, I did this. Yeah, I shouldn't have did that. I know, that's why I'm glad I got people like you to hold me accountable because you get to show. I say, don't do that either. They say, damn, this nigga can see. Yeah, don't do that either. Don't try to patronize. Don't try to flip scripts. And I don't give no damn about no love, light, and none of that. Don't try to play me with the, oh, now, yeah, I'm so glad I got somebody like you in my corner. You do have somebody like me in your corner. It's the mirror. If I'm the one that's going to tell you the truth, I ain't doing anything but just bouncing off the same shit you already know about you. How I'm going to tell you something about you that you didn't know? Me telling you about you was a warning that you didn't give yourself. I said, no, I ain't going to let you do that either. And it ain't because I think less of you. It's because I see more of you. Don't make me side-eye you by thinking you can play me. Now I have to side-eye you. I see it all. I heard Dr. Melakazi York say to one of his sons, be my eyes and my ears on an audio. I'm going to say it again, but I'm going to say it slow because you missed it. I heard Dr. Melakazi York say on an audio recently to one of his sons, be my eyes and my ears. Now you need to answer this question. Omari, how did you hear Malachi say that if it was for his son? And I'm going to raise you. Do you mean to ask me why? Okay, I'll take you further because you're ready. I told that same son last year, at the end of last year, I said, yo, I just heard to do this, so you're going to do this. We're going to do this. I said, I'm about to go and sit in the closet and turn the light off, sit in the corner. I need you to go to a random recording of Dr. Melakazi York speaking and just press play randomly. I said, because I got some questions I need answered. Did the son tell me, no, you don't have clearance for that? No, he didn't tell me that. Did the son tell me, no, this is personal, this is between me and my dad, I'm not letting you hear that? No, the son didn't tell me that. You want to know what the son said? He said, okay. I went in the closet, turned the light off, sat in the corner. He played it. You want to know Pop's first words? And I wrote it all down. Swipe text it. Yep, I'm quick like that. So watch what you say. I swipe text the shit out of it. He said, here's the problem. I said, I'm listening, Pop. This was recorded. It was pre-recorded. He said, here's the problem. They're more focused on the building and the money than they are my freedom. So we're going to what? Test them. Tell them we putting up the building for sale. And watch this person and watch these people. Watch them run and be more concerned about the building than they are my freedom. All they care about is money. They don't care about helping me out. So where we at right now is a different layer of the game. Because you're going to have to explain to me, how did I say to the son of Malachi play an audio, and Malachi not only started answering my questions immediately, it was also queued right up where it needed to be for me to get the exact answers for what I was asking for, what was happening at that time. How did he do that? Then you got to ask, how did we do that? Because how can one person do that? Then you got to ask, who is we? And then you got to be ready to receive the answer. Yes. Who is we? Yeah. You're right. No, I asked a question. No, you think you asked a question. You made a statement. Who is we? Look how to say, God has the last say. Who? Who means to utter. Who is we? Oh, so yeah. Y'all came and saw a show. Meaning you came and you witnessed something be revealed. I am here to tell you, if you can hear me, because you read my books, you listen to my music, you've been on my lives, you've seen and you witnessed, you bear witness, and somehow some of y'all still don't know it. Some of y'all still don't understand who I am. And that's the hilarious part. And it's good, because the wrong ones ain't gonna know. The right ones, it'll be an overstanding. You don't even got to utter it. The show isn't over. What do you mean, Omari? It's not over. Where you getting that from? You tell me where you saw that at. It's not over. The Wapian leader says it's not over. A man is on a cover of a newspaper talking about he got sentenced to 135 years and he's smiling. And the big words you see is, it's not over. And I read his letters to his son, one of his other sons, when I was younger. And I saw him say, the game is almost over. I saw him say it. One of his sons had a gate code. And the gate code was a specific number. And I said, yo, what made you choose that code? He said, I didn't. When I got here, that was the code. And I said to the son, and I've known this son for a while. I said, so let me ask you something. He said, go ahead, bro. I said, you don't think Pops is over this whole thing? You don't think it's possible that your father is over this entire operation? And he was like, nah, bro, it's not possible. I said, I'm not saying yes or no. I said, you're not even saying it's possible? He said, no. I said, this nigga in on it. I said, this nigga in on it. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. He wouldn't tell me if he in on it. Because he in on it. It's a family thing. They ain't gonna say that shit. Then I start seeing how this nigga move. I'm like, this nigga always going and doing some shit. He traveling. What's up, bro? I'm in New York. What's up, bro? I'm in Hawaii. What's up, bro? What? I said, yo, let's get a lawyer for your dad. I don't get involved in that type of stuff. Well, you don't get involved in that type of stuff. This nigga's in on it. Because when I was reading the letters, his dad said to him multiple times, the game is almost over, son. What game? Nigga, you locked up. Right? What game? What game? What type of game are you playing? Go watch that movie Now You See Me. In the movie Now You See Me, the nigga said, what type of game are you playing? The game is almost over. You mean like Spy Kids? Oh, there is a Spy Kids. Huh? You mean Spy Kids? Oh, there is a Spy Kids movie called Game Over about a man who was supposed to have been imprisoned, who had different versions of himself. He was surrounded by green and purple, and he was made out to look like the villain. And then at the end, you had to have certain shades and glasses to be able to see who the real devils are, like they live, and da-da-da-da-da-woo. And then at the end, the antagonist and protagonist were standing together. And Dr. Melakazi York was said to have said, because I ain't hear him say it, but I was taught this growing up that he said it. When all of this is over, this nigga said a lot of shit about when it's over, by the way. When all of what is over, Pops? He said, when all of this is over, you're going to see me and the devil standing together laughing. None of y'all was like, huh? Because I would have been like, and what? Tell me more. But in the movie, you saw the protagonist and the antagonist standing together. And one of the students was confused when they saw that. And they asked. Did we win? Or did we lose? And the response was, it's not about whether or not you win or lose. It's about how you play the game. You said you wanted this. You said you wanted to be initiated into the higher orders, and you stepped into this simulation, and you think you're going to attack one of us, and you're going to pass? Your conscious community is fraudulent. None of them will ascend unless they leave it. All of your leaders are agents. Agents like Agent Smith. All of them. And they won't know the lightning from the east from the lightning from the west. They won't know it if it strikes them 3 times while they standing still. They won't know it. The only other walking adept here is the one they're trying to hide from you. And that is the one called Melchizedek. That's Melchizedek by name. I am what's referred to as a playable character. I got the headset on, projecting here, telling you, nigga, you signed up for this game. Some of y'all found it. I just got off the phone with somebody earlier today. Said they were looking for their center. Some of y'all done found it. Some of y'all on y'all way to it. In the holy tablets, Malachi said, I am El-Kut. I am the center. Imagine that the center is a code that you need to access. You know, when you say center, you're saying access. Tell me I didn't explain this in the whole teaching. If you want to, and I'll ignore you. You need this code to access. It's an access code. Access the way out, which is the way in. So when I said that, 135, who's actively paying attention? Because X marks the spot. That's my book. You better pay attention. What's the X? The treasure. You call it a treasure? Chest. What is he pointing to in the images? His chest. What is Jesus pointing to in the image? The chest. Activation. Rosicrucian. And these people out here talking about they're chosen because they can regurgitate rhetoric. You can't build a rocket ship without rocket science. You can't finish a game without a game design, without proper coding. Some of y'all say y'all ain't got GTA 6. You're living GTA 6. Some of y'all don't know do you know how long it takes to make a video game like that? They have to code physics. They have to code looks. They have to code sound. They have to code idling. They have to code, all of this is a part of it. So there's a code that you can access to get the fuck up out the game. Are you ready, player one? Look, I show y'all through just telling these people, step forth. If you a real player, step forth. Code can't act real. It can only do what the fuck an NPC is programmed to do. Notice how I tell y'all, I say you can always peep the bots and the NPCs because they don't know they're yours. That would have been a funny joke, right? If they just, somebody knew they're yours apart, but they never fucking know. I told you one of their codes. It's that easy. You're crazy. You're a bitch. You're an agent. You're weird. They never know they're yours. That's their code. One of them. Also, I called them forth. I say, tell me about this that you say is real. One of them, come on, say they're a metaphysicist. I know when someone calls themselves a metaphysicist, they are a NPC. Because there is no such thing in this game. One more time. Because some of y'all think you're not NPCs and you think you're metaphysicists. There is no such thing as a metaphysicist in this game. If I'm lying, tell them step forth. Y'all know what happened when they do it. They short circuit. It shouldn't be that easy, should it? Oh, you a metaphysicist? Pull up. Y'all think Rashad Jamal was a threat? Look at the rest of this shit surrounding Rashad Jamal. He ran. He blocked me. They know better. You ain't one of the damn elders, nigga. I know that. But I'm going to give you the opportunity to make sense of your own code stream and see whether or not you're going to back the fuck out the way. And he blocked my code. Why? Because the more he would have interacted with my code, y'all would have been looking at the graphics from Power Rangers, and then you would have looked at the graphics from the CGI and all that from like the Marvel movies, and you would have seen which one was more advanced. You would have been tired of that Power Ranger shit. Say, wait a minute, nigga, that ain't even real fireworks. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, nigga, that ain't, y'all, I looked at your lips when you punched him. You literally were talking about some, psh. You didn't really punch him. You start seeing the different degrees and say, that ain't that. We done challenged all of them. Where they at? They all a part of the code. Because they saw what the fuck I had in my hand. If I was young Pharaoh and I called out Rashad Jamal, oh yeah, he would have went to war. Tooth and nail. If I was young Pharaoh and I called out 19 key, oh yeah, then they would have went to war. Because young Pharaoh don't have the access codes. I do. They saw what the fuck I had in my hand and they took off like vampires when they see a wooden stake. Or vampires when they see the true light, the sun. They got the fuck on, didn't they, y'all? It's quiet out there. It's quiet. And you have to name one thing these niggas teaching that's new. Wait. Who think they got it? Y'all got a conscious community, right? You're telling me that the realm is expanding and accelerating and speeding up. Okay, so should your information be. Give me one thing right now that they're teaching that is new. That you like, this is groundbreaking, air evaporating, information, outformation, beneathformation. The biospheres are shaking when they speak. Give us one. I'll wait. Give me one thing they teaching. They're waking us up. All right, what they teach you? They taught me about spirit. What did they teach you that woke you up? They said don't be a part of the system. What did they teach you that woke you up again? Are you awake? Whole time you talking in your sleep if you saying words like they taught me spirit. Basic united income. That's new information that deals with ascension and your soul ascending. You went to economics. So world econ, that's ascended master shit. Keep it. I don't want to be a part of that. If that's what the ascended masters teach, tell them they can have it by themselves. Tell them they win. They teach esoteric knowledge. That's not new. Somebody tell me something that they taught that's new. I'm waiting on y'all. It should be easy, by the way, because these people should have brought something new by now. If this is the conscious community, I'm waiting on y'all. Spiritual people, where y'all at? What's the new information? Because every day there were new pieces of information coming out from Dr. Malachi York, prophecies included. I'm waiting on y'all. I'm waiting on y'all. Your information shouldn't be going backwards. A little study of the past. Yeah, it shouldn't be going backwards. The information should be going forward. I'm waiting on y'all. It's all rebranded. Exactly. Where's the new information? Where's the ascendant information? Where's the manifestation, visualization? Any of this shit they talking about? Did anybody resurrect the golden ages yet? Has anybody done anything near what Dr. Malachi York has done? I'm giving you the answers. You just don't want them. It's all fake. It's fake. It's make-believe. And what's so interesting about make-believe is you can't make nobody believe shit. That's a choice. Oh, he made me believe. That sounds like the woman you gave me beguiled me. And I did eat. Nobody made you be a liar, Eve. You was a liar your damn self, Adam. You were adamant about being tricked. Nobody made you believe. It ain't make-believe. But in the terms of make-believe, what you're saying is this shit ain't, it's all fake, fabricated. I keep telling y'all, watch how they keep running. And don't think that just because somebody say Rahu back and they want a Malachi student and they call themselves lightweight, that's one of us. Had nothing to do with it. Look at where they living at. They still in Babylon. Look at what they still doing. Babylon shit. And when they talk, all they do is just Babylon. You don't even know the purpose. What's the point of you saying this again? Faise has blocked every one of your pages. You wanted him to be a business partner. He turned down your business, so you can't say he's in it for money. You offer him tens of thousands. And he turned you down and said he don't want to be a part of your business. Build that shit your damn self. Open your store your damn self. I don't want nothing to do with that. So he not where you are. And yet somehow you still trying to warn people against me? Y'all, based off your observation, yes or no? Did Letter to Kodak Black reach Kodak Black? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do the letters we do reach people? If nobody else, the people that we reaching? They say he only do that and he only call out people. That's how he get his views. All right, so somebody bring up F Black History. F Black History has 400 and something thousand views on a music video. Yeah, marketed the shit out of it by using Katsanat. It still got 400 something thousand views on one YouTube video. That's a music video. Independent, no partnerships, no deal signed, no asking niggas to sell herbs if they can put some money in. Just did it. Just got an idea one day, posted the idea, and it took off. Y'all ain't gonna bring up F Black History? What rapper was I dissing? They're not gonna mention F Black History when they trying to slander me? That we were talking about coming out of the darkness then? Out of the illusion then? All right, what about Source? What about Source? I mentioned rappers' names. Source took off from a meme. What about Grind at the Mill? Grind at the Mill took off from people streaming this shit over and over and over again like the lyrics said do. What rapper did I diss? Raise Your Frequency. Raise Your Frequency was somebody came to me and asked me if I could do a song for their business called Raise Your Frequency LLC. I said, I got you. I did the song, and it's one of the biggest songs. Go look on YouTube. What rapper did I diss? 100-something thousand views on what? An audio, not even a music video. Independent, organic. People did that. Ain't even no promotion behind that. Imagine if I promoted. Raise Your Frequency will fuck around and be an anthem for the rest of the year if I want it. If I want it. It will take over your algorithm. I'm just busy. What are they talking about? We've already showed we can do numbers. No, the numbers don't just come from mentioning people. Numbers come from when I do art. It happened on accident sometimes. Some of y'all think I'm that calculated. No, I didn't even have nothing to do with that part. One of the brothers said that when it was Ed. Said, yo, man, I saw when you disappeared. I looked at your shoes, and they was in the form of a square. I could have lied. I could have said, yeah, my son, it's that calculated. I was like, nigga, I ain't noticed that. Damn, you taught me some shit I ain't even see about what the fuck I did. You see? Nah, man, we done been surpassed that number shit. And then they looking so stupid. Bro, talk about something else. Talk about someone else. You're attempting to clout chase off of my name. Because ain't nobody paying attention to you when you saying anything the fuck else. So you got to say Faise One. And you got to keep saying Faise One. After you done said Faise One and you don't fuck with me, why do you keep saying my name? But he not clout chasing. They make a video talking about Faise One exposed. That's not clout chasing. You see? They know time and ran out. All of them know that. You see? What else? Yeah, Source music video. Got 200-something thousand. Y'all have to understand the algorithm of YouTube. If you get 50,000 views on a YouTube video, you got motion. Shit, if you get 30,000 views on a YouTube video, you got motion. You're local. To put some shit out, and you got multiple videos with hundreds of thousands of views. Let's talk Letter to Sexy Red. Let's talk about it. Let's talk Letter to Lil Baby. Let's talk the letters. We're getting it out there. Letter to 21 Savage. People didn't know 21 Savage was a Nuwapian. And people didn't know who Dr. York was. They heard it. They said, let me look into this. Who is this Dr. York dude? Let me see what's going on. I don't get a salute for that. Huh. There go one of my people right here. And I'm wondering if they're going to let me record because they were just shining. So I'm going to, it just faded. No. They never want me to show y'all. Where you just went? Where you just went? As soon as I say, I wonder if they're going to let me show, it's gone. I wish you could see it, though, because it looked just like a star. It shined its light. It beamed. And then it dimmed the light. And it moved around. And it's gone. It faded out, literally. And I don't know if they can literally, well, maybe I need to remember. Because as soon as I say, I was going to show point the camera. Because that's close enough for you to be able to see. And then it disappeared. It's all good, though. Some of y'all were able to come here and see it in person. Hey, I always watching, though. Y'all got to pay attention when y'all elders say stuff like, yo, Faise, man, you got a ship that follow you around and protect you. You better pay attention. Came here. This is an activity. They were talking, we were all on the back porch after all of this played out. Oh, yeah, that's where I was supposed to finish to tell y'all before we get up out of here. So I told the brothers, I said, yo, man, stand in front of the light switch. Right? Don't let nobody turn the lights on because then people going to see me. He did it. He came out. I tapped on the window 3 times. People said they heard it, didn't even investigate it. He went outside. I told him, I said, now go in there and say, I gave him his line. I said, say, touch me, feel me, I am flesh. Do spirits have flesh and bones? He went over the line a few times. He got it down pat. He went in there, said the line. Then I just watched and observed. People looked at this man say the line and went back to what they were doing. It was TV. It was TV. They watched this man say it. And they went right back to what they were doing. Nobody asked, why did you say that? Who told you to say that? Is Faise out there? Why? How you keep going out there and come back in with lines? Nobody said that. They just sat there. I said, okay. I tap again. Tap, tap, tap. He come in. I said, all right, last scene. I said, you're going to go in there and you're going to scream at the top of your lungs. Everything's attached. And I said, then go back like you didn't say nothing. Right? So he did. And people went back to what they were doing like he didn't say nothing. So I just knocked on the door. I said, duck, duck, duck. He opened the door. I walk in. Everybody rushed me. They rushed me like, yo. I said, roll back. They like, yo. They rushed me. Somebody was like, yo, man, the first time I come down here and you pull some shit like this. Somebody else was like, I knew it. Everybody was just hugging me. And then we talked about it on the porch. And I put my right hand up. And I tell you, as soon as we got on the porch, everybody was out there, the skies lit up. Sometimes literally there were flashes. But the skies lit up with activity. extraterrestrial activity, crafts, swooping, darting across the sky, flashing, beaming lights. And I was just talking to people. I said, remember. Just remember. I said, remember that flash too now. That's how you gonna know. They were talking, and then somebody said, Rahul back. And if I'm lying, I'm flying. Somebody said, Rahul back. And they beamed the light, flash. And they kept moving. I said, see, that's their way of speaking. That's their way of acknowledging. I can only say it because I know it from experience. They're always watching, always paying attention. There's a reason why you got books of people called the Watchers and the Overseers, and the Sabaeans call them the Overseers. And you ask them to explain about the Overseers, they're gonna say, "Oh, it's just nature. It's just the wind and it's just the leaves and the water." You call them overseers for a reason. They are literally overseeing the operation. Are you a part of it? Huh? Y'all gotta think about that part where the sister set up the computer and played the album, and everybody sitting there listening to the album, and I'm still missing. They sitting there listening to the album, and everything I'm saying in the album is narrating the situation. Narrating it. You see what I'm saying? So, what you can learn from this, even if you heard it from being described to you, actively pay attention. The show isn't over. The game isn't over yet. It's almost over. But you need to be actively paying attention to your dream state. Actively pay attention to your gut, your intuition. Watch people. Actively pay attention to every small cue. Another thing they couldn't fake was the brothers. We were standing out there, the brothers having a powwow, a build outside in the basement before the show. I walk amongst them. I said amongst because it feels like I'm supposed to say that. If I just said I walked up, it didn't have the same power. You get where I'm going with this. You understand? And so I walked amongst the brothers. And they talking. They going over what they learned and all of that. And we see a bluebird fly past, a bluebird, and we see a red bird fly past. A red bird perched on a cage. They like, oh, you see that? You saw a bluebird? I point out the red one. I said, see that one? I hope you don't worry about tomorrow. When you see a bluebird, know that was me. I'll also send you random messages in packs of 3. And then the album gets played, and one of the songs is asking, have you seen the bluebird? You heard the red bird? Have you dreamed the yellow bird? I know them niggas in their brain was like, yeah, nigga, we just seen the bluebird and the red bird. They're like, Faise, how did you make that a part of the show? How did you get the bluebird and the red bird to fly past too? I say, you think I'm the only curator? You think I'm the only one over this show? Some of y'all like, Some of y'all still don't hear me. But it's okay. Just stay up and keep watch. He won't yell now. Who's who among you? Can you tell now? The book of life is already wrote. And on that note,